Gegard, first fight of 2021, man. It's been a little while. How are we feeling coming into this one?
I'm good. Ready to fight.
Yeah, you feel like it's the right guy in front of you too, John Salter. I know that was something that you said even before you got your opponent, was that you thought that this was the right matchup.
Well, he's the number one contender. I don't know who they have in the middleweight division, so that's the only guy I thought I'm gonna fight. There's no big names yet. Bellator, but who is it? Yoel Romero is a big name, but he's coming off 4 losses, and usually you fight once and then you fight for the belt. So I don't know what's gonna happen.
Does that bother you at all as the champion?
No, it's not my problem. I just need to fight and stay busy.
Yeah, and you brought up Yoel, which is something I was going to get to later, but Scott Coker's name dropped him a couple times when I've talked to him about you. Seems like something Bellator is interested in. Is that a fight that you've always wanted?
I don't know. Who wants to fight Yoel Romero? He's a monster, but he's in Bellator, and if he makes middleweight, and we're going to fight him. You know,
yeah.
I'm a fighter. They give me the contract, I fight.
Yeah, for sure. And I know you had talked about this a little bit, but there was some talk about you going up and fighting at light heavyweight in the Grand Prix.
Yeah.
I guess, can you talk to me about why ultimately that didn't happen?
Well, first of all, it was too short of a notice to gain any weight, and then there was no picking of the opponent. So, and you saw Machida versus Ryan Bader. Just the size difference was big, too much. You know, it's not possible to gain that much weight. If you look at all the great fighters, George St. Pierre didn't go up to fight Anderson. Anderson didn't go up to fight John Jones. John Jones is hesitant to go to fight Ngannou. So weight classes are for a reason, and I need time to put muscle on. But I promise to fight the light heavyweight tournament champion. So
there you go.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, something that we'll definitely see at some point. Yeah, for sure. But talk to me about the matchup you do have in front of you, John Salter.
Yeah.
He's the number 1 contender. Stylistically, I guess, what are you expecting out of this one between you two?
Well, he's a grappler, wrestler. And then he's strong physically. He has good control. Not such a good ground and pound. I'm not afraid of the punches in the stand-up. Yeah, you know, we will see. But I'm not afraid to fight him on the ground and just go not hold back on the ground. I'm gonna scramble all the time.
Yeah, and you talked about the lack of contenders, but there is one guy that's kind of on the come up, which is Austin Vanderford. I know he's going to be here. I saw him at the hotel earlier. Have you been impressed by anything you've seen with him, and do you think that that's a fight you'll end up taking eventually?
I saw his last fight a little bit. He's good. He's definitely a tough opponent. He's undefeated, but he's not been tested yet against well-known fighters. So I don't know if he's the next guy I fight him.
Yeah. It's kind of off the board here, but it's timely. I don't know if you saw yesterday that Jacare Souza retired, and he's a guy that you've had some history with your fights. So what did you think of that? Were you surprised at all?
No, I think that's smart. You know, his last fights were not good. He lost all of them almost. He broke his arm. So he's older, 40 something. I think it's the right move. You know, he could have come to another organization, but I think health is more important.
Do you still follow the UFC closely now that you're in Bellator at all?
I follow some fights, yeah. If the big fights come up, I watch, yeah.
Yeah, and is it kind of particular to your division too? Like, do you have specific interest in like watching the middleweight fights?
No.
Or is it...
Well, if they have interesting fights, I watch. I don't care about the weight class.
Yeah. Do you ever like feel, you know, now that you're in Bellator, like, man, I kind of, you know, want to take on Israel Adesanya. I want to test myself against those guys. Is that itch ever there? Or?
Well, I would have loved to fight Israel Adesanya because he's the number 1 guy, and but. You know, mentioning his name when the fight is never gonna happen is like, and then people are gonna say, you know, Instagram or whatever, forums.
Yeah.
So
for sure,
I'm gonna get a lot of shit over that.
Yeah,
I would love to fight the number 1 guy, whoever it is.
For sure. So there's no itchiness to ever go back to the UFC.
No. You know, there's the problem is here they have big names at light heavyweight, but I'm a middleweight, so it's. Every time if I have to fight 3-4 fights in light heavyweight, every time I have to give the advantage to the opponent, you know. I can do it once, but, or I go up and I stay up, but, you know, I have to take another year off to gain weight. And I've been fighting once a year, so it's not going the way I want to.
Yeah, and I guess you obviously have to see how things go on Friday, but are you hoping to squeeze in one more by the end of the year? Is that kind of your plan?
That is the plan, but the way I heard is difficult. But I thought I have a contract. They have to give me so many fights in that period, but it seems like it's not that way.
Yeah. Well, I wish you the best of luck on Friday, Gegard.
Thank you.
Appreciate the time, man.
Thank you.